I previously talked about how Ethereum was flipping Bitcoin in ETF inflows. One of the things that I think everyone should be paying attention to, especially even if you hold XRP or HBAR or anything, is how strong Ethereum is becoming. Everyone keeps asking me, Nick, why do you keep putting a focus on Bitcoin or even Ethereum? Because these are generating so much liquidity that will flow into altcoins and make us extremely wealthy. And in this video, I actually want to talk about how Tom Lee specifically is going to make us extremely rich. We have here spot Ether ETFs have outpaced Bitcoin for 6 straight days, pulling in nearly $2.4 billion against Bitcoin's $287 million. Of course, BlackRock's ETH A is leading the charge. It is clear institutions are eyeing on Ethereum. And yeah, they are. I mean, listen, Ethereum right now is far better for them to market than Bitcoin. Bitcoin has, tremendously ran from its 2021 high. Ethereum has barely even flipped the 2021 high. It actually didn't even get close to the 2021 high. It's been trying to break over the 2024 highs. So, this is perfect for the institutional players to play in terms of a game of, hey, how much demand can we make for Ethereum if Ethereum has yet to actually run to its 2021 all-time highs and go into price discovery like Bitcoin? Well, guess what? That's why we're starting to see a big focus put on Ethereum at this point, because it is going to run to catch up to Bitcoin, and that's going to create them so much revenue just from the fees alone. But that's why they're marketing Ethereum heavy, and that's also what's going to create a massive tsunami of liquidity for the rest of this space. We're going to talk about that here in a moment, but let's actually go over here to this post from Ryan Sean Adams, because this is Tom Lee said he wants to buy 5% of all Ethereum. After 1 month, he's 10% of the way there. 5% of all Ethereum would be about 6 million Ethereum, currently valued at $22 billion. Michael Saylor owns about 2.9% of Bitcoin supply, so Tom Lee plans to buy almost 2 times Saylor's worth of Ethereum as a percentage of network supply. And we have here Bitmine Immersion Technologies, or Tom Lee's Ethereum treasury company, now holds a staggering 560,000 Ethereum. This is over $2 billion worth of Ethereum. And he's been accelerating, the buying of Ethereum. This is causing a massive surge on Ethereum, and it's also causing the Ethereum ETFs to outperform Bitcoin, which is really kind of starting the flippening narrative for Ethereum as well. Now, let's talk about the phases, because again, if we just got out of phase 1 and if we're now starting the phase 2, remember that all of this creates that demand, right? Right now we're in the Ethereum demand side, but if we start to see liquidity flow from Ethereum and money flow into large caps and, the other altcoins as well, this is going to put a focus on the altcoin side. And at a time where altcoins have yet to see their ETFs approved, I do think that this is where we can start to see the ETF approval talks return. That will probably be in about a month or two, while Ethereum just continues to go absolutely crazy. So we're now in phase 2. Liquidity is starting to boom, and Tom Lee is showing absolutely zero signs of slowing down. In fact, he wants to accelerate the buying of Ethereum. He has a plan in place. He wants to own 5% of all Ethereum, and that's going to take a ton of money to flow in to Ethereum. Because again, we're only at about 5, like right now, if we look at how much money is in Ethereum already from Tom Lee's side, 560,000 Ethereum, he still needs a little over 5.4 million Ethereum. That will cause a surge on Ethereum just from buying pressure alone. But think about the ETF side as well. But there is a video of Tom Lee talking about how they're treating Ethereum and why he wants to become the largest holder of Ethereum and hold 5+% of the network. Here we have bullish. Wall Street is betting big on Ethereum. We're treating Ethereum with different roles and with a different quotation. We are the largest holder of Ethereum today, more than the Ethereum Foundation. Check this out. This is from Tom Lee, and this is from the Cube as well. Listen closely.
What's behind? What needs to catch up? Where's the work? Where's the saw sharpening moment here? I'm good. That's a chat GP moment stablecoin, but now there's a lot of, you got to sharpen the saw and cut the wood a little bit here, chop some wood, carry the water. There's a lot of blocking and tackling that's got to get done from these old. What are the sequence of events to get this thing 100% planing out beautifully?
Well, we don't have enough time.
Give me the top three.
Well, because we have to fix plumbing and regulatory boundaries and definitions, like what's an asset, what's a commodity. These are not clear definitions, but I think probably the simplest thing that your viewer has to think about is geography. That Ethereum is the same blockchain in any country, but we're treating it with different rules and with a different quotation. Stablecoins are helping change that, but it's very complex. So I
think it's a huge issue.
Yeah, so I think that regulators don't have an easy job. And if I can help, I will. And if I could help with policy, I'd be glad to. We're going to be we are the largest holder of Ethereum today, more than the Ethereum Foundation. Because we have over $2 billion of Ethereum. So we want to make sure everything works.
It's a big bet.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about on this bet? Because obviously, besides the net income, which is phenomenal, by the way, congratulations on that. What are you excited about as you see this developing out further? What's the macro conditions look like?
Oh, well, there's a lot of innovation that comes with crypto. I think that you have to think about crypto as it's Wall Street going onto the blockchain, but then it's AI making the digital world more acceptable. So crypto is the intersection of Wall Street and AI. So it's a really important place to be for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. Someone quoted here on my show saying, hey, financial energy, because I was, as we're riffing on the energy bounded behind Bitcoin, obviously NVIDIA and all these guys, AI is bounded by energy. So is crypto energy. So, but the financial energy is the money piece. What do you see that when you look at sovereignty and borderless transactions? That's the beautiful thing about the global economy, so you have borderless opportunities.
Well, I mean, the reality is that what you just described is going to create winners and losers globally, because the U.S. is going to get stronger. This is actually a dollarization story as well.
On the stable coins, what's your view on, do we need to have, is there going to be a zillion stable coins? Is it going to be a power law? Is it going to be specialty coins? I mean, I heard JP Morgan's been testing it, JP Morgan Chase, I heard Fidelity.
There's been a lot. There were stable coins, there were stable coins.
What has to happen? Is it okay to have a multitude of stable coins, or will there be?
As long as people are backing their reserves, there's no risk. And I think that's what the model
That's the key factor of the risk backing.
Yeah, I mean, example is, you probably don't realize, have you been to Bermuda?
Yeah.
Okay, and you use Bermudian dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a stable coin, because the central bank does not guarantee that rate.
Really?
There is nothing backing a Bermudian dollar, but it's still equal to $1.
So we are already kind of living it.
So Circle is more secure than a Bermudian dollar. I'm not trying to offend Bermuda, but
yeah, okay. It's good to pick on it. Small island, still nice there. Okay, so Circle's prospects. Do you feel good about that IPO?
Yeah, Jeremy Allaire's great. Kathy Wood's the anchor. She's done really well with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's on your plan? What's your focus right now? What are you working on? What are you optimizing for right now?
Well, we have a lot of plans for BitMine that I can't share because, of course, it's material, non-public information. But at Fundstrat, we've been really chopping wood and really investing in this space for a long time, and now clients are coming to us and asking what's really happening.
Awesome. And for the financial folks watching, we know that they're all looking at changing some of the plumbing. What's their opportunity? What would you advise them?
Well, I think many banks are going to come out ahead.
So yeah, I mean, listen, when we think about what they're planning to do with this Ethereum treasury company, they want to go basically all in on Ethereum. And this is what's going to create so much demand for Ethereum. But remember, how does this make XRP and altcoin holders extremely rich? Well, it goes back to the liquidity. And remember, right? We do see the focus shift from Bitcoin to Ethereum to large caps. Even right now, it's brewing behind the scenes. Currently, we only have Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Guess what comes next? ETFs for these altcoins. And XRP is one at the top of the list. HBAR is another one. Solana is another one. And I go back in time because, big shout out to Smoke Dog. Remember, XRP outperformed Bitcoin and Ethereum in 2017, documented 3 times. Here we have major cryptocurrency prices in 2017 all the way through 2018. We have Bitcoin, 14x fold increase in 2017. Ethereum, 100x fold increase in 2017. XRP, a nearly 350x fold increase in 2017. Then also over here, world's 3 largest virtual currencies by market value percentage, price change of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. XRP outperforming both of them. And then also another document, Ethereum and Ripple. XRP's rise in 2017 was 24 times steeper than Bitcoin's own increase. Yeah, because XRP outperformed both of them. And think about what's happening right now with institutional adoption, with institutional focus, big banks jumping in, the stablecoin boom, the tokenization boom. XRP is at the forefront of almost all of that. This is why I keep saying, although, Ethereum is still in the show right now, it's a typical cycle. But Ethereum and XRP have gone back and forth for so long. And, I always go back to 2017, 2018. I even go back prior to when XRP was quickly outperforming, Ethereum and targeting Bitcoin's market cap. It was getting very close to flipping Bitcoin. There's a few screenshots of, when XRP basically flipped both for a little bit. But, again, this could happen this time around too. And even when it comes to XRP against Ethereum, we already had that nice increase in value against Ethereum. Now we're just kind of chopping here. We're waiting for the next impulsive wave. And if we really start to break out, and I mean really break out above these previous highs here, and we just continue, XRP can show a significant amount of strength against Ethereum because from 2017, 2018, there was never an actual cycle for XRP going forward. We got handicap back in 2021. It was a terrible cycle for XRP, and it was basically an attack on XRP, in my opinion, and it was planned because XRP is a major threat to both Ethereum and also Bitcoin. And even nowadays, we still look at XRP as an extremely dominant cryptocurrency and one that could definitely threaten both Ethereum and Bitcoin. And even if we think about XRP dominance, this thing has been breaking out on the 3-week. We're still waiting for it to really close over some of these major highs. Ultimately, what I really want to see is us clear over like 5.42% on the 3-week and actually close over it. This goes all the way back to like October of 2019, because the next 2 areas on this chart would be about 6% to 8%, and then up here at almost 11 to 14+% in just XRP dominance. And that could definitely happen if we start to see that money really trickle down. We've seen it happen before. I don't think this time around is any different. And I do think that Tom Lee is going to make Ethereum extremely expensive. And that's going to lead to a lot of people taking profits and flipping it into other altcoins. We see it happen every single time because we see large buy-ups happening around those large caps, around those mid caps, and even those smaller cap projects. And that's what's going to cause Altseason. That's what's going to cause that surge across the board. And that's what's going to make a lot of us altcoin holders and even XRP holders very wealthy. And Tom Lee is the big one behind, all of this Ethereum buying pressure currently, but also so are institutional players. And I think that it's very clear by just the, ETF inflows. The ETF inflows around Ethereum have been extremely bullish, and it's telling us and it's giving us a warning sign of what's to come for altcoins. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.